Welcome to BattleBots, the show that answers the age-old question, why are drum spinners so scary? I'm Chris Rose, and here's a guy who's a little scary himself, and thank God we're good friends. At least I hope so. That's UFC fighter Kenny Florian.
Oh, come on, I'm not that scary.
I know a lot of MMA fighters who tend to disagree, my man.
Oh, thank you. That means a lot. Well, you are right about drum spinners. They are scary as heck, and a hit from a drum like Minotaurs feels like getting smacked by about 650 sledgehammers at once.
But some of tonight's bots, they're forced to face these turning titans, which brings us to tonight's fight card. And our main event matchup this evening, it is a great one. Bite Force taking on Yeti!
Speaking of deadly drum spinners, look out for Yeti's new design and stronger frame, which Greg Gibson hopes will guarantee him a spot in the finals. But first, he's got to get through the defending champion, Paul Ventimiglia, and Bite Force.
Yeti's just getting thrown to the wolves right out of the gate. Paul Ventimiglia, he is back, and his bot's got the stuff that legends are made of.
Legends they are, the bot and Paul.
For a closer look, here's our eyes and ears in the pits. Jenny Taft.
Well, Chris, Paul Ventimiglia knows what it's like to go up against all the top robots. He's faced Tombstone, he's faced Minotaur, but with those robots, their weapons are about 4 to 5 inches off the ground. With Yeti, it's a bit different. Their drum is centered at twice that height, and Bite Force may not have a defensive answer for that, but Paul knows his strength is his weapon and will attack head on. As for Greg Gibson, he knows what he's up against. He told me he is monster trucking it, meaning he's added some larger wheels to the robot and plans to roll up on Bite Force and attack from above. Everyone in the pits is waiting to see how the reigning champ does in the box. It's not going to be easy against Yeti, and you'll get to see it tonight.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Also on tonight's fight card, the Ewart family from Wisconsin is back. And this year, these brothers each brought their own robot to the competition. Son of Waiachi, driven by Luke, already off to a 1-0 start. But tonight, the family's debuting 2 more bots, Falcon and Hydra. Tell us about Falcon, Kenny.
Falcon may look small, but he's packing 2 punches with a double drum setup. Imagine having to defend yourself against Minotaur on both sides. That's the type of heat Falcon is coming at you with, but its first fight ain't gonna be easy because he's up against legendary builder Jim Smentowski, who left his classic bot Nightmare at home, and he's here with his brand new breaker box. And the third Waiachi bot is Hydra, facing off against Gary Jin and free shipping. The Ewart say Hydra is a new type of flipper bot that we've never seen before here on BattleBots.
Will it work? Who knows? But we know this family builds some bad mamma jammas. Moving on, this year we have 2 teams from China competing. And earlier this season, we saw Wan Hu take down Captain Shredderator.
That's a knockout.
And this week, we'll see another team from China, Railgun Max, go against the mean-looking hammerbot, the Mad Catter. Then we have Lucky, the Canadian Flipper, up against rookie bot builder Justin Marple and Bloodsport.
But first, let's dig in and begin this battle buffet with Scorpios versus the dreaded drum spinner of Copperhead. Scorpios has one of the most powerful saws in the competition, and of all the drums on tonight's fight card, Copperhead might be the most dangerous.
I can't wait another minute. You ready to get this show on the road?
Yeah.
Farouk, get in here and take it away, my man.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time! In the red square, its favorite soda is Orange Slice. Its favorite fries is Waffle Cut. Its favorite meal is pork chop. Ooh, that's some good stuff. It's Scorpios!
This year, Scorpios has a new team captain, Zach Lytle, taking over for Orion Beach. His friends call him the party guy. But that's because when Zach isn't working on Scorpios, he builds miniature fighting robots for kids' parties. So let's see how he transitions from kids' parties to the battle box.
In the blue square, this bot will crack your back like a boa constrictor. Its hybrid drum is a pain inflictor, and it won't run away from a big fight. It can. Snakes don't have legs. It's Copperhead!
Copperhead might look familiar, but that's because this robot is formerly known as Poison Arrow. Team captain Zach Goff took last year off from competing to revamp his robot from the 2016 season. What we see now is Poison Arrow 2.0, or as Zach calls it, Copperhead.
I saw exposed chain and exposed felt. So there's 3 critical spots on the top of this robot. If I can hit exactly there, he's gonna be done.
So our strategy against Scorpios, I think once the drum is up to speed, we've got the advantage. We've added some thicker top armor to try and deflect those hits from overhead. We just have to connect. As long as we connect, I think it's our fight to win.
Robots activate.
I'm really excited about this new and improved Copperhead. The biggest difference is that drum spinner. It's a cross between an egg beater similar to Black Dragon and a traditional drum spinner.
And after missing the top 16 last year with a 3-1 record, Scorpios doesn't just want to win, they want to do it in spectacular fashion. Let the bot battle begin. Scorpio so low to the ground, just picking up Copperhead with that first shot. Whoa!
It's Copperhead that looks a little faster out there, though. And now that primary weapon's going, Chris.
And you can hear that drum spinner humming. Oh, yeah, that's what Minotaur used to sound like before it took chunks out of an opponent. It looks like Zach Lytle having a little problem at the controls, the new driver of Scorpios, trying to get his bearings straight.
You got this.
Yeah, it almost seems like it has too much power. It's losing control. Doesn't have the traction on the battle box. Nice hit there from Scorpios, though.
Oh, yeah, a lot of sparks flying. Thanks to a drum spinner and saw. Woo!
Oh! Big hit there from Copperhead. Well, I think they have their answer, Chris. That primary weapon is working.
Just a bunch of nasty little shots courtesy of Copperhead.
But Copperhead is having some drive issues here. Not able to move right now. That's not a good sign.
Copperhead's a sitting duck. If Scorpios can get him from behind.
He's in real trouble right now. He's at the mercy of Zach Lytle. Scorpios playing some mind games.
Yeah, they're just toying with them. Look at Scorpios dance around Copperhead, trying to stay away from that deadly drum spin.
Scorpios trying to cut him like a filet mignon. Hey, Kenny, what does snake taste like? Woo!
Oh, I believe it tastes a lot like chicken. And oh, there it is. Scorpios has him flipped. Now it's time to feast.
Zach Lytle, look at him. Pounce on his prey now.
We got another. Yeah, I got a sprocket missing now.
He wants to finish strong and make a statement in his first fight of the season.
I'm starting my countdown, unless you show me movement.
Scorpios pouring it on at the end of this fight. He is showing the selection committee that he belongs in the top 16. 10, 9,
And
all of a sudden, Copperhead is being counted out.
6,
Kenny, it cannot drive upside down, and that would cost it a victory.
1, that's a knockout.
That is it.
Oh my God. Congratulations.
Oh my God! Scorpios back in a big way. Kenny, the first 90 seconds or so, Zach Goff's robot Copperhead looked very impressive.
Yeah, it did. That primary weapon was indeed working. It looked devastating. bent that front wedge of Scorpios, but once he ran into mobility issues, Scorpios was all over him. He was too tough, too strong. They are known for their consistency, for their determination. These guys never give up, always moving forward. And again, they just outlasted Copperhead. Right there is that shot that knocked loose the sprockets of Copperhead, and they became a sitting duck. And from there, it was all over for Zach Goff. All right, I'm here with a victorious Zach Lytle from Team Scorpios, man. You built another durable bot.
Indeed we did. It takes hits like no other, and now we can dish out even more punishment than before.
It seemed like you got off to a little bit of a slow start. What was the issue?
Well, it turns out his wedge is lower than mine. And we had to adjust our strategy after we found that out.
You guys look great out there. How far can this bot go?
We're going all the way to the top.
Well done, man. Congratulations.
Kenny, this is the way BattleBots goes sometimes. I mean, the script really flipped when Copperhead got flipped.
Yeah, that's right. And listen, they didn't do a whole lot of testing on their bot, so I think they got some good intel in this one, even though they didn't get the win.
What about Scorpios? I mean, it took some serious damage and weathered the early storm from Copperhead, but it just kept on coming and really owned the back half of this fight. How far can that bot go?
Listen, I think it's a very durable bot. We've seen Scorpios do very well in previous seasons. I think they have an even stronger bot this season. I think their big challenge, though, is getting that primary weapon to be very effective. I didn't see a lot of effectiveness from that saw.
No question about it. All right, up next, it's rookie bot Bloodsport, up against famed Canadian flipper Lucky, who already apologizes for the damage he plans to do. That's next on BattleBots Fight Night. All right, we are back on BattleBots, and up next, we have a veteran versus a rookie. And let's start with the Canadians, Lucky and Mark Demers. Last year, he took a gamble when he entered the mid-season Desperado tournament. He made it all the way to the final against Lockjaw and just missed out on his chance at the top 16. So this year, he wants to come out swinging and make a statement to the selection committee that he and his flipper are a bot to be reckoned with and have their sights set on a top 16 berth.
Yeah, without a doubt. Listen, last season he did quite well in the Desperado tournament. I think he thought he was going to have similar or even better success than last season. Has a lot of confidence in his bot. I think that's why he did it.
He's a veteran bot builder, and now he's taken on a bunch of kids in Team Bloodsport, led by Justin Marple. This is a guy who has actually been fighting Jack Barker from Endgame ever since they were in middle school. Now he's stepping it up with the big boys.
Looking at the tail of the tape, it's a flipper going up against a long bar spinner. To get a flip, Lucky needs to get into the body of Bloodsport, but it's a tough task with an 18-inch reach compared to Bloodsport's 48-inch spinning blade. And once that blade gets up to speed, they just have to wait for Lucky to make a move.
All right, that's enough talk. Farouk, take it away.
In the red square, it's got the heart. All your efforts are in vain. It's pumped, you're drained. It'll cut you until you're just one big laceration. And when you're dying, it'll say coagulations. It's Bloodsport!
Justin Marple comes from a large family and is the oldest of 4 siblings. He's been competing in robotics competitions around the world for the last 6 years. Let's see if he's got what it takes to survive the battle box.
In the blue square, odds are you're gonna lose against this bot. It's got aces. What you got? 2 pair will get you nowhere. Ante up for Lucky!
This is our only team from Canada this season. Mark Demers, the team captain, has been building robots since 2001.
After last year's disappointing campaign, he spent the better part of the offseason rebuilding Lucky from the ground up. I hope all his hard work has paid off.
The most dangerous thing about Bloodsport is the 52-pound S7 tool steel bar. It spins at 170 miles per hour. Our strategy for today is to avoid getting under their flipper, try to take their wheels out from the side, just give them a good couple hits and see what happens.
Bloodsport packs a real punch. A machine with that much energy goes through parts and takes parts off. So we're gonna try and balance that by hitting them before they're at top speed. We're gonna try and get under them and then throw them from there.
Robots activate.
That blade on Bloodsport looks like it can inflict some serious damage. I hope Lucky's got extra armor because Bloodsport looks like he's out for, help me out here, Kenny.
Blood, Chris. He's out for blood.
Let the bot battle begin.
Lucky's gonna want to keep that wedge pointed at Bloodsport and use his flipper to land that lucky punch.
Lucky's inviting that first hit.
Oh!
Taking a huge shot from Bloodsport.
Now Bloodsport's gonna want to move to the side of Lucky and try to rip that wedge right off. Well, I think they're hoping that Bloodsport gets over the top of him, but right now, Lucky just kind of spazzing out. There's an issue with that flipper right now because they're not even close to Bloodsport, but they're trying to flip.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do if you're Bloodsport? First of all, you got to get that blade working again.
Can you spin? Dead? Yeah, weapon's dead.
Yeah, Chris, I don't think that primary weapon is functional right now. I think both bots really struggling out there in the battle box.
I think Lucky's going to try and pin Bloodsport in the corner and try and use the rails to maybe get him on top of him and then pop him.
Bloodsport's one of those bots that if the primary weapon isn't working, oh!
There it goes.
Are they baiting him a little bit? Oh, Lucky utilizing that wedge and getting the better of these exchanges. Bloodsport's got to get something going here.
Interesting. 90 seconds into this one, does Bloodsport have another big shot in it?
Go around them. Over the sides. Over the sides. Go around over the sides.
Oh, that thing is traveling extremely fast. They just need to get around to the side.
There you go. Might it rip that front wedge off? That's the big question. Well, both bots, to their credit, still moving. Lucky took another shot right to the kisser.
Let's see if Bloodsport can get around to the backside of Lucky.
Oh, yeah. Boy, that front wedge is so tough on Lucky.
Yeah, but it's barely hanging on, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes.
See ya, and it just made its way out of the battle box as well.
I think this is going to be the beginning of the end for Lucky now.
Let it spin up. Yeah, I'm gonna let it. Let go.
I'm not sure if Bloodsport can fire up that weapon again, Kenny, but they may not have to.
The wedge not in place. Lucky extremely vulnerable.
Yeah, there's nothing really it can do. It can push it around a little bit, but how the heck is it going to lift Bloodsport, put it on top of it to launch it?
Yeah, without that wedge, they really have no offensive option left, Chris.
Under 10 to go. So this one will go the distance as somehow both bots survive. This one will go to the 3 judges. Each of them former BattleBots participants. Derek Young, Lisa Winter, Jason Bardis. Scoring on a 7-point scale this season. 3 points can be awarded for damage, 2 for aggression, and 2 for control. At the beginning of this fight, Lucky was looking to take hits and use that big wedge to feed Bloodsport up toward that flipper for a lucky punch.
Yeah, but he wasn't able to connect, and he left the door open for Bloodsport, who had some issues keeping the weapon spinning, but when it was raging. It got around to the side of Lucky, chewed up that wedge, and eventually ripped it right off.
What a debut for the rookie team. Let's go to Farouk to make it official.
The results from the judges are in. The winner by unanimous decision is Bloodsport.
I'm here with Justin Marple of Team Bloodsport. You guys did it. You just beat Lucky. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great. We were worried it wouldn't make the 3 minutes, but the weapon died a few times. I don't know if it's overheating or something like that, but it kept kicking back in.
You guys now have a winning record in your first season of BattleBots. That's very impressive, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Kudos to you and your team.
Thank you.
Good job, Justin.
I always feel good when a BattleBots rookie gets win number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he looked very excited to finally get his first win here at BattleBots. An awesome moment for a first-timer.
And it's back to the drawing board for veteran Mark Demers and Lucky at 0-1. But coming up, it's the most anticipated new bot in the field. Hydra takes on free shipping. And later, in our main event, Paul Ventimiglia is back to defend his title. But Greg Gibson and Yeti are ready to show Paul that the path to another giant nut is going to be one bumpy ride. Hold on to your hats. It's Bite Force versus Yeti on BattleBots Fight Night. All right, Kenny, we are back on BattleBots Fight Night. Hydra and free shipping are up next. But first, let's check in with Jenny Taft.
Thanks, guys. I've had the opportunity to see so many of these robots up close and personal, but I wanted to take a look at one specific type of weapon that might make you flip out. In the history of BattleBots, there have been many successful flipper bots.
Kenny, I was getting pancake hungry with all the flipping I was seeing out there.
But the gold standard of flippers has always been one of the most feared bots in the competition.
Oh!
Bronco.
Almost out of the battle box, and here goes Bronco.
Using a powerful pneumatic system that uses compressed gas to trigger its lifting weapon, Bronco has devastated opponents and routinely flips its way into the quarterfinals.
Bronco's trying to get him out of the arena, and he does!
But this year, there's a new flipper in town. Jake Ewart and Team Waiachi have built what they believe to be the new king of flippers, using hydraulics to power their new robot, Hydra. People are talking about Hydra and what you're doing with hydraulics. I mean, is it cool to kind of be doing something that's unique and pushing
It's nice
the envelope?
for somebody to bring something cool and it actually works.
Yeah. The main difference between hydraulics and pneumatics is the medium used to transmit power. Bronco uses compressed nitrogen gas at 1,500 psi, while Hydra stores about a soda can's worth of hydraulic fluid in the accumulator and pushes it to the weapon piston in a fraction of a second.
This is going to be the new trend for flippers, and it should be because we can see that it's going to be Bronco worthy for sure. I don't know how much farther they can evolve their bot with the air. There's just not that much advancement. With hydraulics, we can go faster and we can go higher pressure and we can flip higher.
Jake believes he's built the world's new, most powerful flipper. So I'm taking him outside the pits to put Hydra to the test with some real-world machinery. The average washing machine weighs 150 pounds, 3/5 the weight of a 250-pound BattleBot, but a heavy load nonetheless. Hydra's launch time is only 1/10 of a second, reaching a maximum height of 15 feet in the air, with a hang time of 1.46 seconds. That was nuts. An impressive and powerful display for a rookie flipper using new technology. And there are a couple of guys in the pits that are taking notice. Reason Bradley and Xander Rose of Team Bronco. So now it's Bronco's turn to show Hydra how it's done.
Bronco's launch time was 600th slower than Hydra. But it threw the machine 20 feet in the air, 5 feet higher than Hydra, with a hang time of 1.93 seconds. That's a half second longer than Hydra. In the end, these test results don't lie. Bronco remains the most powerful flipper in the field. But the only way to find out who's the real king is a head-to-head matchup in the box. And these two robots are on a collision course for flipper bot supremacy later this season. But Hydra's first real test is now. Chris and Kenny, back to you.
Well, listen, if it works the way they say it will, this could be one of the most exciting bots to watch this season, perhaps as exciting as Bronco, the legendary flipper himself. That's what they're saying.
Okay, today he will take on free shipping, and I definitely know that it's Gary Jin that's running the show there. And look, he might not win all the time, but he provides so much excitement to all the fans out there.
That's right. I don't know why they call it free shipping. It's not free. You gotta take some flames. You're gonna have to deal with the fire, the hits, and the amazing driving from Gary Jin.
And guess what? He's one of the most beloved drivers and bot builders out there in the pits, right? Now, occasionally you will see other bot builders that aren't even a part of his team.
Look at that focus. Are you kidding me?
Gary Jin
Intimidation right there.
These are available now, so operators are standing by. Let's take you inside the battle box. Farouk, I got you. I got you at large.
In the red square, it's signs for everything with the initials WTF. What the fork? Time's up. You're done. The silverware will kill you, son. It's free shipping.
Gary Jin is one of my favorite bot builders. This is his second season at the helm of his own team, and he's hoping for a much better performance since last year's bot was only good at losing. And how about a good luck charm? That urn was made by Gary's mom, who's also a team sponsor.
In the blue square, from the cheese state of Wisconsin, in this fight, it's the big old cracker, and you're just debris. Give it up for Hydra!
Jake Ewart has been building robots since the ripe old age of 13, and he says that Hydra is his best creation yet. And with Team Waiachi's pedigree behind him, there's a whole lot of hype around this new robot.
We're gonna finally see if Hydra is all that it's cracked up to be when we come back on BattleBots Fight Night. We are back on BattleBots, and it is Gary Jin and free shipping against the untested Waiachi flipper, Hydra.
Robots activate.
Gary Jin always entertains us, but last year was ultimately a disappointment. So it's so important for him to get a victory right out of the gate to put him on track for the top 16. Meanwhile, the Ewards, they've been boasting that there's never been a bot like Hydra here at BattleBots.
Ready. Ready.
Let the bot battle begin. Uh-oh, looks like Hydra's already having a little bit of a driving issue.
Couldn't tell if it was a driving issue. They're too low to the ground. Look at free shipping trying to get its flame going.
Gary Jin controlling the early moments here, pushing Hydra around the box.
Needs more pump.
So far, I'm not seeing anything from Hydra that lives up to the hype. And there's that flame from free shipping. Yeah, welcome to the party, Flame.
Oh, Hydra just took a swing and whiffed.
And a nice hurdle by free shipping over Hydra.
Yeah, when you have a powerful flipper, it's all about timing. Hydra hasn't found it quite yet. They're getting close.
Gary Jin still winning the wedge battle, getting underneath Hydra.
Yeah, there's another opportunity for Hydra to use that flipper, but I don't think they've got it dialed in right yet. Oh, Hydra just took another swing and missed big time.
This is such a disappointing performance by Hydra so far. Hopefully they can turn this thing around, Kenny.
Oh, free shipping! Flying Hydra right now.
And trying to get away.
Oh, that's a flip.
That's a big one.
Wow, there's a little taste of the power of Hydra.
That was like a 720 in the air that free shipping just stuck.
Wow. Oh, another.
Uh-oh, free shipping's on its head. This could be it. This could be a big problem. Hydra, oh, he's coming back for more. He's trying to get him under the
What are you doing?
pulverizer.
Why towards us?
Oh, is he trying to get him out of the battle box?
10. No.
Oh, the countdown has started. Is Hydra going to go in for one last tussle? Or let Gary Jin burn?
2, 1, knockout!
That is it. From zero to hero. What a spectacular turnaround for Hydra. Well, early on, it was free shipping with excellent driving, using the wedges and getting underneath Hydra, making it impossible for Jake Ewart to land a shot with that flipper. But then, Hydra showed us what it can do, Kenny.
Oh, he hit him with an uppercut that would make Iron Mike proud. And there's the flip, completely out of the picture of the camera. That's how high he sent free shipping.
Well, Gary Jin could really never get it going with his weapon, in part because he was too busy doing 360s and 720s in the sky.
We haven't seen robots flying through the air like that since Bronco's been in the box. Hydra made a believer out of me. All right, I'm here with Jake Ewart from Hydra. Man, you know, a bunch of good news. It's no longer untested and unproven. You did that, and you got the win. How do you assess your performance?
I don't actually know, because I'm supposed to keep an eye on the bot while he's up in the air. So I don't know how high he went, but I'm hoping I can get it fixed and get him even higher next time.
One of those was very, very high. It seemed like it took you a little bit to get your timing. Was that the case?
It was the pump guy. He wasn't pumping up and up beforehand.
So what do you need to do to make that better next time?
Better communication. He just needs to just go full throttle.
Pretty happy with the performance?
Yeah, I think we took a little bit of damage on one of our wheels, on one of our flips, but other than that, we're just going to bring the pain.
Well done, man.
Kenny, is there anything better than a flipper bot in action?
When they get the timing right, it is just a beautiful thing to watch. Hydra, once they got their act together, man, they were all over free shipping. I can't wait to see what Hydra can do in this season.
So it was another great event with Gary Jin and free shipping. I got to imagine he's getting a bit frustrated that he can't get a W.
Yeah, similar to Blacksmith. He's like, listen, I just want to get a win.
Right.
I don't want to be involved in an exciting fight and just lose all the time. You can see it's starting to get to Gary, but I suspect he's going to get a win this season. No doubt about it.
We will see him again down the road. All right, Kenny, now we move to a tale of two friends, now foes. We've got Monsoon and Ragnarok. Now, Monsoon, of course, led by Thomas Brewster, they made it to the round of 16 last season, in part because of a guy named Tim Rackley, who was behind the scenes and one of the great engineers there. Well, he said, listen, Tom, you're great at the aesthetic stuff. You stink at being an engineer. I'm out of here. So Tim's got his new team, Ragnarok. These two are meeting for the first time. A lot wrapped up in this one. So let's go to Jenny for a report on this fight.
Well, Chris, Tom Brewster and Tim Rackley know each other better than anyone in this competition. But now that Tim is the enemy and not the teammate, both builders feel they have the upper hand on their competition. I'm going to start with Tom. He's expecting some hard hits from Ragnarok's axe, so he has replaced his plastic top armor with 4mm Hardux. Now, that is a metal only found in the UK, and it's equivalent to AR 500 steel. And then there's Tim.
He has a secret weapon of his own, and he's calling it the Heartbreaker. It's a steel spear designed to connect to Ragnarok's axe, to penetrate Monsoon's top armor and kill it with a single shot. But they need to upgrade their axe if it's going to work.
What is the plan of attack?
Very fortunate we have Tormac here, who are willing to help adjust our thicker axe arm so we can run that.
Using CAD software to design a 3D model, Tim is using the Tormek mill to add lightning holes in his axe arm to reduce overall weight but retain structural strength so it can swing the Heartbreaker hard enough to hopefully penetrate Monsoon's top armor.
So even though we're removing quite a lot of material, we're not actually using that much strength.
So Tim is building a more powerful axe, but he's keeping the secret weapon out of sight during testing, because you never know who's watching when you're in the test box. We will soon find out if that Heartbreaker is going to work. Back to you, Chris.
Yeah, we're all excited to see it, Jenny. The Battle of Britain is up next on BattleBots Fight Night. All right, we are back on BattleBots, and Kenny, you ever run into an ex-girlfriend, you're like, it's a little uncomfortable, and then you end up being at the same, dinner party with her, and you're like, gosh, this is really, really uncomfortable. Isn't that what we have going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, having a BattleBots team is like starting a business with your friend. It doesn't always work out, right? So for them, I think they're better off being leaders of their own teams. They both felt like, it just didn't work out.
All right, Tom says it's really not that big a deal. We're close friends. I have a feeling this means more to Tim, don't you?
I think so. For Tim, he actually started making plans immediately after last season ended. And if you look at the tail of the tape, this is a vertical spinner against a heavy-hitting axe. Tim specifically designed Ragnarok's axe to destroy the top armor of Monsoon with the weapon reach 1 inch longer than Monsoon's vertical spinner, which means Monsoon is gonna have to get that weapon up to speed and attack Ragnarok from behind.
In his head during last season, I'm sure he's saying, I wish I had my own team.
Are we friends or foe?
Yeah.
We'll
see how it goes.
We'll decide after this fight. Yeah. Farouk, take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's robot fighting time!
There he is, Tom Brewster, the guy that Tim Rackley of Ragnarok called a camera hog. He said he loved the attention. I get it, he's a showman, but that's a good bot, dude.
It's a very good bot. Made it to the final 8 last season, and bad news for everybody else, that thing is even better this season.
I love the Viking theme. Look at that nasty bot, Kenny.
Just like the Viking that inspired it, it denotes raw power and intimidation.
Boy, Tim could be in the WWE if this BattleBots thing doesn't work out, huh?
He is a big man and also shows raw power and intimidation.
In the red square, if this bot was a lip-syncing pop duo, he'd be Millie Vakilli. When you feel his pain, blame it on the rain. Girl, you know you're through. Ooh, 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 it's Monsoon!
A little T for 2. Kenny, we know Monsoon's got a devastating weapon, but it's partially about defense here against Ragnarok.
Yeah, absolutely. He's showing the respect for Tim Rackley and Ragnarok by moving his front armor to the top of Monsoon.
In the blue square, from the Isle of Sheppey, off the English shore, when it lays down the hammer, you're the one that's Thor. Valhalla for Ragnarok!
Kenny, Ragnarok has an axe that they feel like can fire up to 45 times. And let's remember, these guys come from the Isle of Sheppey, a place that has 1 grocery store but 3 prisons. I think they stopped at a prison. What did they bring with them?
Well, very appropriate because they brought a shank or a spear tip, and they've kept it out of view until just now. There's Tim attaching it to the axe. He's looking to put a big hole in Monsoon.
Where we want to hit on Monsoon is the batteries. They've had to run the thinner lids because of weight issues, so we're just going to absolutely lay into them as much as we can. We've actually specifically designed something to take out the batteries. We call it the Heartbreaker, but it's similar to a Roman javelin head. So when you stab something and twist, you leave the arrowhead in there. We're just going to beat the living daylights out of them.
For us, the strategy will be to avoid them for about 8 seconds so that we can get up to speed, and then when we can, we're going to try and turn into them and try and go for those wheels, because they have got a very thick wedge, but we still don't want to chance it if we don't have to. It's going to be a good fight, and I think we're ready to Ragnarok and roll them into Valhalla.
Robots activate.
Now we've got a good look at the Heartbreaker, and that thing looks deadly, Kenny.
That's right, Chris, but I don't think he realizes that Tom Brewster has replaced his plastic top armor with the much stronger Hardox to protect those batteries.
Let's do this, Tweety. I believe in you. Come on, boy. We got this. Yeah.
It is mad. Let the bot grudge match begin. Monsoon with that weapon, full fire. Smack into Ragnarok. Oh, huge hit by Monsoon. Oh, no.
This could be a knockout.
Uh-oh, what is Tom Brewster going to do to his old friend? Is he going to give him a helping hand? He's trying to knock him over so the fight can continue.
Monsoon trying to tip him over.
Starting my countdown. We got smoke.
Team Ragnarok saying that they see smoke. That's not a good sign.
Oh, Ragnarok is getting counted out.
At least it ain't that bad.
3, 2, 1. That's a knockout.
Wow. Tom Brewster says, engineer that, big boy.
Stomach seized on the first hit. It's a big hit. You know, it's a big hit. It's seized. There's not even like a...
You know, Kenny, Monsoon was worried about having to be a defensive bot. It went on the offensive against Ragnarok.
Yeah, and what's so surprising is Tom Brewster wasn't even sure if that was actually at full power. So that's the kind of devastation that primary weapon can create.
Gotta say, I'm disappointed in Ragnarok's performance. A big swing and a miss for Tim Rackley.
Yeah, literally, Chris. He fired the Heartbreaker too early and missed by only a few inches. Had he connected, this may have been a different story, but we'll never know. All right, I'm here with your winner, Tom Brewster of Team Monsoon. Man, that didn't last long.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure what happened there. You know, the first hit was maybe half as quick. I think we both wanted a much longer fight because we were really up for it, but that's just the way it went.
And I could see the good sportsmanship. You were trying to tip him over, it seemed. Was that what you were trying to do? You wanted to extend the fight a little bit longer?
Yeah, that was very much intentional. We really want to put on a good show, and because we're such good mates, we wanted to keep it going. It was a rough one for both of us, because we both wanted to really dial in our weapons.
Absolutely. Last season, you made it to the final 8. Do you think you can go further this season?
Yep, we're looking to go all the way this year, absolutely, yep.
You're looking pretty strong, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No, it didn't. I mean, do you get mad at Mike Tyson for having so much knockout power? That's what happens. They're throwing bombs.
And I guess that Tom Brewster can engineer a robot, after all. I mean, let's remember how good Monsoon was a season ago.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's very scary that this is an even more durable bot. I mean, that's a bot to contend with, no doubt about it.
And for Tim Rackley, he left Monsoon last year to branch out on his own. And after that beatdown, he might be having second thoughts. All right, we got much more BattleBots coming your way. Hold tight. All right, we are back on BattleBots with a pair of rookie teams. Let's start with the team from China and Elaine Wu. And I was back there talking to them in the pits. They are uber confident. They're like, listen, we see what Wanhu, the other team from China, has been doing, and everybody's clapping them and giving them love. We're better than they are. We're better than just about everybody in the entire field, and you'll be saying that after you see us destroy our opponent.
Oh, they seem very confident. The bot is absolutely beautiful. It has a 53-pound egg beater style vertical weapon, and the thing looks very impressive.
They're facing off against Martin Mason. He's the leader, of course, of Mad Catter. He's a quirky guy who turns it on for the camera, but this is a respected builder who knows how to make a solid robot.
He's very passionate. He loves what he does. And listen, he's going to call out people if he feels he can beat them. And he thinks that Railgun Max is a little overrated, and he wants to see what they have. He believes he needs to go 3 minutes for this one. It's going to be a driver's match.
A lot of physicality about to happen inside the box. Let's turn it over to Farouk.
In the red square, this bot's got 9 lives, and you've only got 1. When you fall, it's gonna throw you back up like a hairball. It won't be pretty.
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
It's Mad Catter!
Well, clearly Martin's quirky personality rubs off on his teammates. But Martin Mason's been a member of other successful teams in the past, but helping out wasn't enough. Now he's taking the reins as a captain with this scary-looking hammerbot, Mad Catter.
In the blue square, this bot rides eternal, shiny, and chrome. It'll beat you down with hits to the Thunderdome. It's a road warrior who came to slay. What a day! What a lovely day! Witness me. It's not Mad Max, it's Railgun Max.
This just shows you the reach of BattleBots, Kenny. Here's Elaine Wu, who was a hospitality worker in China. She saw BattleBots on TV and thought, I could do that. And here she is making her debut on the sport's biggest stage.
It's awesome, Chris, and check out that egg beater drum. That thing looks nasty.
We're gonna win this next match. We're gonna take our hammer, we're gonna knock it out, then we're gonna lift them up, maybe put them in the screws, go. We got some other weapons that we're thinking about putting on. They might get a little surprise. We came to this competition to smash some other robots. Railgun, bring a trash can.
We are always the same strategy, take the first move in the fight and then crush on them as soon as we can. So we have a lot of work to do. We might gonna put one more layer of the cover to avoid the hammer go through our battery part. We come all the way here, we just need to win all our fights.
Robots activate.
Railgun Max looks like a well-built machine. I bet you that thing could take a licking and keep on ticking.
And check out the hammer on Mad Catter. That thing looks like something you'd use down in the coal mines.
You spend a lot of time in the coal mines, Kenny?
Let's ready. Routine ready.
Let the bot battle begin. Oh!
Huge shot there by Railgun Max. Mad Catter is in trouble.
Serious trouble, as in, I don't know if it's moving trouble. Oh, there it gets going. And it drops the hammer. That's a 17-pound hammer right on the grill of Railgun Max, who said, I don't care. And it looks like Mad Catter might be broken apart a bit.
Yeah, I think they are. Wow! Oh! There it goes! Railgun Max finishing the job. Mad Catter is 2 different robots now.
Oh, no. Is it going to tee it up for one more hit? Is it going to do it?
Can you flip yourself over?
Keep right. Mad Catter's trying to flip himself over by using that hammer and using some force to get it back on the ground.
10,
The countdown has started.
7, 6, 5.
That's going to do it.
3,
Railgun
2,
Max
1. That's a knockout.
with the first KO. Kenny, Mad Catter landed one solid shot with that hammer early on, but then Railgun Max took over this fight.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone has a plan until they get hit in the face. Woo! How's that from Railgun Max? Welcome to BattleBots.
Wow! And then you could see a little bit later, right after hitting the screws, that Mad Catter started to get a little loose. I don't know, they had to tighten a bolt or something, and then it just split apart.
That's right. Listen, this Chinese team said they wanted to be known for their aggressive driving. That's exactly what they did out there. Amazing. All right, I am here with Elaine Wu from Team Railgun Max. That is a knockout. Wow.
Oh my God, I was surprised too because we come all the way from China to here. Oh my God, I'm just too excited. And BattleBots rocks.
You guys are making it worth your while. Good job.
Thank you. Hey, come on, let's have a hug. Let's do friends.
All right, I'm here with Martin Mason with Team Mad Catter. I mean, that was a massive hit. Break that down for us.
So on that first hit, they took out our reel, and then we lost mobility. We were really having a hard time driving. And man, that robot hit hard. I'm gonna tell you what, that robot, they derailed the Mad Catter. But I'm gonna tell you what, we're gonna be back. We're still in this.
I love it. Is there another team that you'd like to face, Martin?
I'll tell you what, we're gonna be ready. Give us about an hour. We'll be back in that arena. We'll have it put back together. A little bit more paint, tighten some screws. Mad Catter will be back.
I love the attitude. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love these rookie international bot builders. We've never seen them before. They get inside the battle box, and all of a sudden, you're like, that one can fight.
Absolutely. Again, these guys are so soft-spoken, so humble outside of the battle box. Then they get in there, and they're destroyers.
And what about Martin Mason and Mad Catter? The dude is hilarious. I'll tell you, it was awesome watching our bot get split apart. And they just need a little paint and some screws, and they'll be fine in an hour.
He is the best. I love interviewing that guy. I hope to see more of him.
So we had two big characters with two big weapons in the box. We love when the two go hand in hand. For more on that, let's go to Jenny.
Fighting robots are often an extension of their builder's personality and style. Today, I want to get an inside look at the drum spinner, an aggressive weapon that requires an aggressive driver. So who better to talk about it than the Alaskan assassin himself, Greg Gibson and Yeti.
Let's talk about why you do what you do. Why is Yeti so successful with the drums?
If you watch a horizontal spinner, it's that equal and opposite reaction. They hit something and their robot goes away, and they have to really think about how to deliver. With the drum, when it's spinning upwards, when I hit something else, my robot's just sent to the floor, which means not a whole lot happens, and I can go right back.
Oh, that is interesting.
So it does. It's a design that lends itself well to my driving style. You don't really have to hold back. Once you've got it spinning, you power at them. I mean, one of the things that really makes a drum work well is you can't just creep up to somebody, because then you'll see it grinding and getting little hits. You need to deliver the drum.
We're looking at two very different sizes here. So how much weight are we talking about?
So this is 37 pounds. This is the primary 50-pound drum.
This thing is scary, I'm not gonna lie. It's huge.
It is.
How much speed and force are we talking about?
This is going about 3,000 RPM. So it's maybe in the 100, 120 mile an hour tip speed range.
That's wild.
Yeti's RPM and tip speed are relatively low compared to the other drums in the field. Bots like Copperhead and Minotaur far exceed Yeti's power. But there is a strategy behind Greg's weapon.
I don't think it's one of the most powerful. They're a lot more powerful. The goal is, though, to keep it spinning.
Okay.
You know, you can deliver, anyone can deliver one hit. The goal is to keep it spinning the whole time. So the hope here is that maybe it's not the biggest hit, but it can deliver 10, 11, 12, 50 of those hits.
Okay.
Many of the drums we see in the box are made of heavy steel and are low to the ground. But Greg has taken a different approach with Yeti.
And this one particular, that's aluminum. Most drums that you're gonna see today are probably gonna be solid steel.
Yeah.
Aluminum has its, severe drawbacks in that, it's soft, it can break, but the overall density allows me to get higher inertia, and it gets all the way to the outside. So we really don't have any weight inside, so it's all outside spinning where it matters. So this 50-pound drum might deliver more force, or will deliver more force, than a smaller, compact steel drum that has all of its weight closer to the center. So it is that trade-off, and so I go for the more aggressive.
All right.
No surprise.
More aggressive.
Yeah.
Greg will take his aggressive style into the main event tonight against the defending champion, Paul Ventimiglia and Bite Force.
Oh my God!
Thanks, Jenny. And yes, the aggressive Greg Gibson and Yeti look ready to fight later tonight. But when we come back, it's BreakerBox versus Falcon.
That's when BattleBots returns. Hold tight. All right, Kenny, we are back on BattleBots Fight Night. BreakerBox and Falcon are getting loaded into the box. But first, let's go to Jenny, who's with the old school builder and team captain of BreakerBox, Jim Smintowski.
After 20 years of building robots, Jim Smintowski is back. Jim is best known for a robot that has been retired for years, one that might terrorize your dreams. Nightmare.
Jim, we've known you for years, and we really knew you for Nightmare, though.
That's right. I built Nightmare and showed up with this thing with a huge vertical disc, and nobody had ever seen anything like that, and it was frightening. But Nightmare's kind of aging robot, and the design isn't as effective against today's level of robots.
Jim knew that Nightmare wouldn't stand a chance against today's combat technology. So he decided out with the old and in with the new.
Who is this? Tell me about BreakerBox.
Well, BreakerBox is a very animated robot. It doesn't have an up or a down. It just runs no matter what. It can push robots around the arena, flip them over. If I've got the hammer on there, it punches holes through them.
How much weight are we talking about with this hammer? What are we dealing with?
This whole hammer assembly is a little over 46 pounds. Blacksmith is not even half that.
Okay, well, weight is such a factor for these robots. How do you compensate everywhere else?
The robot's very, very compact the way it is already.
Okay.
Even in this configuration, it's still underweight a little bit. That's why we actually chose to add in a second multi-bot. So along with BreakerBox, we have Hacker, the 14-pound titanium wedge robot with a flamethrower on it.
Oh, flamethrower, just in case.
Modular weapons, because it's a modular sport.
Yeah.
You're never fighting the same type of robot in every fight. Whoever I'm fighting, I can swap it out.
Now that Nightmare has stepped into retirement, BreakerBox has some big shoes to fill. BreakerBox versus Falcon is happening now. Let's go to Chris and Kenny back in the arena.
Thanks, Jenny. I know a lot of BattleBots fans are excited because Jim Smintowski is back and badder than ever with BreakerBox. He's facing off against another Ewart. This one is Clint, and he's busting out Falcon. Now, I asked him to compare it to Sunawayachi, which we saw was so dominant in its first fight of 2019. He said, listen, Sunawayachi is a home run. Falcon hasn't even set foot in the dugout. So is he underselling this thing?
We'll have to wait and see, but we know Team Waiachi are some of the best builders in the biz. Now, this thing has 2 drum spinners, front and back. Typically, we just see one, so this is going to be a really interesting matchup. BreakerBox is going to have to be a more defensive robot against that deadly double drum spinner of Falcon. Those drums spin at 250 miles per hour. And for BreakerBox, they're going to have to use that front wedge to minimize the damage and try to take advantage of that lightweight body of Falcon by pushing it around the arena.
Let's take you inside the box. Farouk.
In the red square, it puts the beat in beatbox. And you're about to break into Electric Boogaloo. Pop it, lock it, you can't stop it. It's BreakerBox!
When people talk about the founding fathers of robot building, they are talking about Jim Smintowski. This guy's been building competitive robots for over 20 years. And for the first time ever, he has a robot in the box that isn't Nightmare. BreakerBox, your time to shine has arrived.
In the blue square, the bird, the bird's the word. Everybody heard of this bird, and they are scared. Oh, it's Falcon!
I feel like everywhere I look, there's another Ewart popping up. There's a Ewart, there's a Ewart, there's a Ewart. This time it's Clint and his small but mighty robot Falcon. Clint is the second oldest out of his siblings, and he loves spending time outside, fishing, hunting, and backpacking.
strategy against BreakerBox is not to break. I mean, ultimately, I have turning issues, so I'm going to have to utilize both of my offensive weapons, both drums, both sides of it, so that I don't have to maneuver as much.
I'm going with the AR wedge this time around. So it's a new weapon that is designed to go up against spinners. Got big shoes to fill, bringing Nightmare previously with BreakerBox now, but BreakerBox is his own robot. He's a really highly animated robot, puts on a good show.
Robots activate.
Ooh,
a little flame out of Hacker, huh?
Looks like Clint isn't here to make any friends. He's just here to destroy other people's robots.
When we come back, BreakerBox versus Falcon on BattleBots Fight Night. We are right back into the action on BattleBots with Falcon and BreakerBox. Let the bot battle begin! BreakerBox trying to go around the backside of Falcon, now facing off against him or just not having great control.
Well, he realized that was a bad idea when he saw that drum spinner spinning like this.
Whoa! Big hit from one of Falcon's drums, and he's got two of them, Kenny.
Yeah, but BreakerBox is coming right back. It is so low to the ground. He's been able to get underneath Falcon so far, but there's a big dent already in the front wedge of BreakerBox. That's not good.
Oh, he's trying to ram Falcon into the screws.
He's also trying to get him out of the battle box as well, Chris. Uh-oh, still able to get underneath Falcon. Falcon having some drive issues.
Well, that's what Clint Ewert told us he was most afraid of. Said he wouldn't be able to get any grip on the floor. Now he's taking it for a ride in BreakerBox. Trying to dump him out of the box. Clint Ewert's weapons are certainly spinning, but he just has no control with his wheel. BreakerBox taking him for a ride now.
Right now, Jim Smentowski and BreakerBox doing a great job of showing control to these judges.
In the meantime, Falcon frustrated. The weapons are working. That didn't work, taking a pulverizer hit to the bottom. Oh, no.
BreakerBox just too low to the ground right now for Falcon. Falcon driving upside down, but now he's even more vulnerable to the wedge attack for BreakerBox.
More than midway through this 3-minute bout, BreakerBox has been in total control so far, just doing what he wants with Falcon around the battle box.
Well, as we expected, that is a very durable and tough bot from Jim Smentowski. That thing just keeps ramming its face right at the fist of Falcon and stops those drums from getting up to speed.
Finally, a little movement from Falcon. Under a minute to go, that means the kill saws are active. BreakerBox having a little spastic run now.
Yeah, BreakerBox breakdancing a little bit in the battle box. Falcon able to kind of recoup. See if he can score some hits here for the judges.
Got to be frustrating for Clint Ewert. Those drums, they're spinning, but he's having trouble maneuvering his robot.
And BreakerBox is having some drive issues himself right now. He's not quite able to control his bot as Falcon tries to take advantage.
Boy, Clint Ewert and Falcon just can't get that active drum spinner in the right position at all to do any damage, Kenny.
Well, right now it's upside down, so that is causing him some trouble, but I think that's the drum spinner he needs to attack with. That seems more effective right now. He's trying to attack the flank of BreakerBox.
He's got 10 seconds to make some sort of impression on the judges. And there's a little bit with a plume of smoke, but this will do it. As BreakerBox and Falcon go to a decision. The judges, once again, all former BattleBots competitors. Derek Young in the foreground, Lisa Winter, and Jason Bartis. They are scoring on a 7-point system. Up to 3 points can be awarded for damage, 2 for aggression, and 2 for control. Well, Falcon had a strong start to this match with that first big hit that sent BreakerBox's lifter spinning in the air. But after that, I gotta say that BreakerBox was in control for the entirety of this match.
Well, I'd say at least the first half of the match, it did a good job of getting underneath Falcon, getting him towards the screws. He did his best to try to get him out of the battle box, but Falcon showed that it's a pretty durable bot himself. And there's a little ride, a little piggyback ride from BreakerBox. Thank you very much.
And in the later part of the fight, those drums were still spinning, but your weapon is only going to be as good as your mobility. And he couldn't land another big shot at the end of this fight. The judges have reached a decision, so let's go to Farouk to announce the winner.
The results from the judges are in. We have a split decision. Judge Lisa scored the battle for BreakerBox. Judge Derek scored the battle for Falcon. Judge Jason scored the battle for the winner, BreakerBox.
All right, I'm here with Jim Smentowski. Looks like you guys just got back from Burning Man. I love the outfits, and you brought a very tough bot.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've been waiting to bring BreakerBox to BattleBots for so many years. I'm just glad that he finally gets the spotlight.
Were you a little surprised with the split decision?
Not so much. I mean, the performance wasn't quite there. I think I'm using old batteries and a little bit change with the gear ratio on the motors made it not quite perform to what my standards should have been. So we got a little work to do and come back later even stronger.
Jim, it was great to have you back, man. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you so much.
All right, I'm here with Clint Ewart. Man, I know you were very nervous with your bot. You weren't quite sure how it was going to perform. What's your assessment?
My assessment is I lasted 3 minutes, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good sign, man. I know you said having a bot that's untested is not a good feeling. It is now tested. Do you feel a little bit better?
I got some improvements to make. Otherwise, I thought the drums actually held up pretty well. I mean, they were still functioning at the end. I'm not sure what happened to his drive, but I did some damage.
It was a great design. It was a great fight, man. Good luck going forward.
Yeah. Thanks.
Kenny, that was a pretty fun fight. Lasted the entire 3 minutes. I think we learned about BreakerBox. That thing's pretty tough. And then, of course, he could change weaponry during the season. He is off to a promising start here at 1-0. And it's got to feel good. Showing up to BattleBots with a robot not named Nightmare, going up against an established team like Waiachi, and getting the opening round win. Jim Smentowski, he's definitely back.
He brought it. Very tough, durable bot. He seemed like he was very pleased with the performance, and overall, just a fun fight.
And what about one of the Ewarts, Clint, here with Falcon? I know that he was excited to debut the robot, but he has to be disappointed in the performance.
Listen, I think he probably had even worse expectations for his bot. And, you know, considering the fact that he went 3 hard minutes against a tough, durable bot, I think he was excited about that.
All right, Kenny, let's take a closer look at tonight's main event, Bite Force versus Yeti.
Oh, my God!
Last year, our team won the entire championship. But the reality is we treat each season like it's new. We face each opponent like it's our toughest match. A lot of people might have a target for us. They're trying to take us down. But we always want to win. We always want to put on a good show.
Last year was really kind of a low point, I think, for the robot. Just didn't have enough weight and structural support in the frame, and it was just collapsing.
Shocking moment that will go down in BattleBots history.
This time we've come in with a better frame. You know, we've kind of dialed in what we've needed. Now with this rebuilt Yeti, we're really in our sweet spot.
The new Bite Force, we made sure to have the modularity of the first Bite Force, where we could change the armor attachments, but we always have the ability to cause a knockout with our weapon.
We're in an interesting spot with Bite Force as our first matchup, because We're the underdog. This is a good opportunity for us to show, you know, what we can do.
Going up against Yeti, they have the spinning weapon in the front. So if we put on a metal chain guard this time.
Oh, that's looking great.
So hopefully that metal armor is enough to stop their spinning weapon.
To beat Bite Force would be a big statement about what Yeti really can do. Might even surprise us a little bit.
Bite Force versus Yeti, the main event, right around the corner. It's next on BattleBots Fight Night.
We fought free shipping. It went better than expected.
Oh! That's a flip!
That's how hydraulics are supposed to work.
Oh!
We proved that hydraulics are not just slow, but they can be fast. It's more pump. We're the next generation of flippers. There was damage to the front flipper a little bit from me getting wedged underneath his flipper, and I jackknifed him up. Other than that, a little bit of polishing, it's all good to go.
Oh, another!
I'm ready for them all.
Knockout!
Hydra is gonna take that nut.
All right, we are back on BattleBots, and it's the moment we've been waiting for. Not only the main event, but the 2019 debut of the defending BattleBots champion, Paul Ventimiglia and Bite Force. He has not one, but 2 giant nuts to his name, and he's very much the Bill Belichick of this sport. I mean, so singularly focused. We asked him about, well, what are your goals? He's like, listen, dude, I have failed BattleBots if I don't reach the round of 16, but I'm only worried about Yeti.
Yeah, listen, he has high expectations, but yes, he is only focused on one fight at a time. He has a ton of experience, a very unique design, and again, this is the bot to beat once again.
Earlier today, we spoke with Greg Gibson of Yeti, and he said, listen, here's my strategy. I'm not going to outdrive that dude. He's a better driver. I don't have a better bot. That's a better bot. I got to turn this into a barroom brawl. He made it pretty simple.
Well, and I think that's what he needs to do. You can't make this complicated for him. He wants to go right in the face of Bite Force and every other bot, by the way, and just make it a barroom brawl. And let's see what happens. He does have knockout power. Let's see what you got.
All right, so if we were to fight, would you use strategy or would it just be one?
Strategy. I'm smarter. I'm quicker.
Better looking.
Better looking.
Yeah.
More skillful.
Enough. Let's check out the main event. Farouk, it's all you.
I was going to keep going.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? It's time for our main event.
Long live the champ. Maybe one of the biggest changes to this team is that Paul Ventimiglia and his longtime girlfriend Tina, they actually got engaged in the offseason. But man, they're such a happy couple. That bot's scary.
Yeah, that bot is very scary. And again, Paul Ventimiglia, one of the brightest bot builders out of any team here, and that is saying a lot. This guy has a ton of experience as well, and still very young.
Greg Gibson, half the man he used to be. Literally, he lost 30 pounds in the offseason. He looks great. Don't worry, Yeti is still 250 pounds. That thing can pack a punch.
Yeah, that's right. And Greg Gibson is just a guy who knows exactly who he is and what kind of bot he has. He knows he's a barroom brawler and wants to put on exciting fights.
In the red square, this bot will chew you up like gum, beat you like a drum, then leave you looking dumb. If it's a shark, you're the chum. Bite Force!
Kenny, there's the champ. There's the champ. He's ready to unleash the beast.
That's right. He knows Yeti's going to go right at him. Bite Force has gone weapon to weapon with guys like Minotaur and Tombstone. He's not going to be afraid of Yeti.
In the blue square, this legend is no myth. Elusive and keen, a cold-hearted killing machine. He's gonna hem a slayer. It's Yeti!
Kenny, Greg Gibson might have lost some weight. The good news, his weapon did not. That drum spinner is 50 pounds, and it's gnarly.
Yeah, that's right. And Greg Gibson said this fight against Bite Force reminds him a lot of his fight against Donald Hudson's lockjaw. For him, he said, it's all about chaos. That's when Yeti's at his best.
Robots activate.
Bite Force looks like a sleek and sexy sports car, and Yeti looks like a rugged truck that you can take off-roading on the weekends. The newly engaged champ, ready to do his thing. Let the battle begin! The main event is underway. Yeti, getting upended. Look at that! And getting its butt kicked already by the champ.
Yeah, the chain is already gone from Yeti, I believe. That's not good.
Oh, no, spinning right in front of us uncontrollably. He's trying to get his bearings straight, but he looks like you after a nasty night out, Kenny.
I tell you what, Yeti, there's some air time.
Whoa, that thing went 8 to 10 feet in the air. Oh, but look at that, the fork's getting stuck in Bite Force, courtesy of Yeti. He's trying to push the champ into the rail.
Well, that's a good thing. He's trying to get that fork tied up into the chain of Bite Force. That's where we've seen Bite Force most vulnerable, when you can attack that chain.
And now the pulverizer trying to do some damage in the corner. Yeti doing a nice job of pushing and shoving. This is some serious strength being shown out of these two bots. And how about that? A nice little pop that Yeti lands on his wheels, though.
Greg Gibson's lost power to lift those forks. You see one of them stuck pointing forward. I'm not sure if that's helping or hurting at this point.
The Yeti taking a lot of damage, but it's not done yet.
Get him. It looks like Yeti's tires are a little screwed up, Kenny.
Oh, yeah. Courtesy of Bite Force for sure. But look at this. Yeti showing its power right now. Again, with the fork, trying to go after that primary weapon, trying to jam it up.
Now we got a little pushing and shoving match. Oh, no, are they stuck? It looks like the left fork of Yeti has gotten stuck on Bite Force's right front side. Now they're separated. Kenny, this fight is still up for grabs. The defending champ probably ahead on the scorecards, but Yeti refuses to quit.
Yeah, we've got a fight on our hands, Chris. That fork from Yeti continues to cause problems for both bots. Yeti needs to do more than this, though, if he wants to steal this fight away from Bite Force.
Yeah, Bite Force saying, you want to hold hands with me? Well, let's walk through the garden of punishment right now. There's Bite Force smashing Yeti again.
How about another big flip courtesy of the champ?
Now that he has flipped, that fork is caught underneath him, and it looks like he has lost power to one side. A little bit of breakdancing from Yeti, no pun intended.
20 seconds to go in the main event tonight that has been oh so entertaining. Can one of these two behemoths land one more crushing blow and affect the ruling of the judges?
Yeti just spinning on its own fork. My goodness.
What an amazing main event. A bout that saw big hit after big hit.
Oh, that was ugly.
And this one will go to the judges. Well, Kenny, these two just kept going at it. Yeti, even though he was taking shot after shot, said, bring it on.
And you can see right there that the forks chain on Yeti went flying off early in the fight, giving him no control over those arms. Even though he lost use of the forks early, he was still able to use them to his advantage by getting them locked into the body of Bite Force and pushing it around the arena. But Bite Force is just so versatile, it can do anything. It can be a technical driver. It can hit you from the outside. It can use speed. And yes, it can brawl on the inside, even with Yeti.
The results from the judges are in. We have a unanimous decision, and the winner is Bite Force!
All right, I'm here with a very excited Paul Ventimiglia from Team Bite Force. Man, what a match. That was pretty dominant, Paul.
That wasn't very dominant in my opinion. They were pretty evenly matched, and the robot's really tough. We were able to damage part of their weapon, break off their lifters, and their drive was having a problem at the end, but we were having some drive problems in the middle. So it was a really tough match.
So did you think you were going to try to get the finish there, or you thought you should finish someone like Yeti?
We were attempting to, but this is a brand new version of our robot. It's the spare from last year, so it may have some teething issue we got to work out. But my teammates are really good in the pit. They're going to fix it up. We're going to have it working better for the next match.
Can you win this thing again?
Our team is prepared to go all the way. That's what we're here for. We've been working all year preparing. We're ready to do it.
Another impressive victory, man. Congrats.
Thanks, man.
Bring it in here, Greg. Greg, man, you brought it again. You brought another durable bot. There were some great exchanges in there. Are you happy with what happened out there, considering you didn't get the win?
I mean, Bite Force is the best robot here, hands down. We had some big fights, or big hits, sorry. Things went flying, so I'm good.
Mission accomplished. We're excited about the future, man, of Yeti. You guys always bring it. We expect many more exciting matches.
Thank you. Hoping to provide them.
Kenny, that is the thing about Bite Force. They can win a fight any way you need it.
They are so versatile. They can win in a variety of ways. It is tough. It is durable. They have a technical driver at the helm. My goodness.
By the way, if you get a loss, there is such a thing as a good loss in BattleBots.
Yes.
The selection committee watched that fight and said, Yeti, you're something to be reckoned with, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And for Yeti, they're facing the best bot in the world. They had nothing to lose. And the fact that they were able to go the distance with someone like Paul Ventimiglia and Bite Force, I think it's a good sign.
Well, no one's taken down the champ just yet. But tonight was all about rookie robots announcing themselves as forces to be reckoned with. From Bloodsport, ripping Lucky's face off, to Railgun Max dismembering Mad Catter, these first-timers are showing that they are here to compete. Jenny, what was your favorite moment from tonight's fight card?
Guys, for me, it was finally seeing the defending champ in action. Bite Force is just as devastating in person as I thought it would be, and honestly, it's gonna be hard for anyone to beat them this season.
I have to say, for me, the best bot of the night, hands down, is Jake Ewart and Hydra. That hydraulic flipper was beyond impressive, and if I were Bronco, I would be shaking in my boots, because seeing Hydra send free shipping through the air like that, that was really impressive. And dare I say, if Hydra can handle all of their fights this way, we might have a real contender to take home the giant nut.
So that'll do it for us for this evening. For Jenny Taft and Farouk and my man Kenny Florian, I'm Chris Rose. We'll see you next time on BattleBots.